Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. This is another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about Sylvie. Should you pull her? Is her AI good? What is she going to do? Let's go ahead and dig in. Most of you guys do know that I am sponsored by the Amazon App Store, and I would love to encourage you to take advantage of the great event they have going on right now. If you buy any bundles in War of the Visions and it goes on for another 4 days, you do get 3% Amazon coins back. This is in addition to the 20% you save when you do purchase Amazon coins. So if you guys want to know more about Amazon coins, how to make your money go the furthest, and how to support content creators like me and Oron J, go to dig.gs/offer right now. It would really help us out, and make sure you use Amazon coins when you are doing your purchases. If you want even more information, you can also go to the QR code right here. It is a quick and easy way for you to scan and go ahead and pull up the appropriate web page. So let's talk about Sylvie because I think there's a little bit of confusion with her and her kit, with her AI. I watched recently a video that Mysidia did, a video that Odaiba did, talking about her. So she is an interesting character, and I feel like I haven't heard the outcry that you should be pulling for her very much. It seems like people are very hesitant and on the fence because whenever you have a DPS oriented healer in War of the Visions, the question that you really want to ask is the AI sound? Is it functional? Is it going to screw up, right? Quite often we think of Fryevia. There are other examples through War of the Visions history where healing AI has just completely made a unit really act weird. Varouche, very similar. So is she good? Is she worth it? And I think she is. Full disclosure, very good. We're going to talk about her sword and her vision card as well. But I really love her as a unit. And I like her as a unit because she's versatile, she's flexible, she has access to sub white mage, she has access to sub blade soul, she has a variety of things in her kit that make her unique in the game, and I think she can fill a unique role that not many characters can fill, which is almost like a flexible DPS healer that you really want. I think in PvE play, particularly if you're playing manual and you're doing nightmare level missions, I do think she's going to be incredibly powerful, an incredibly insane asset, especially like with manual AI. She's probably one of the better units in the game, or with manual control, just because you can do so much with her. You can heal, you can buff, you can do so much damage, lower defense penetration. She just fills so many roles. So let's take a look at her mastery ability first. She gets HP 10% for light allies, light attack 15 for light allies, increase AoE resistance 10, and what I really like is the decrease activation time. So if she's casting any heal spells, they're going to be faster. Taking a look at her stats here, she has 5% weak to slash, 15% pierce resistance, 10% weakness to strike, 10% missile resistance, and 5% magic resistance. What's interesting here, though, with her is that she does get a lot of defense and spirit. So you do tend to see her being kind of tanky. Just in the version of her that you take out as a friend companion, she did have over 30 defense and 30 spirit, and she has a lot of these in her passives. And Marian's Blessing, which is her primary blessing ability, is going to give her magic 24%, slash attack resistance penetration 40. You're going to be setting this. But it also gives 15 defense, 15 spirit, and she also has the capability to buff herself for defense, debuff, resistance, immunity. So that paired with being able to lower an opponent's defense resistance penetration or defense penetration can be very powerful. You're most likely going to be setting Blade Soul lore as well for agility 12% and spirit penetration. Combining that slash attack, resistance penetration, and spirit penetration is probably going to be pretty important. And I really love her counter ability, which is an AoE heal. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be a 60x modifier. Not really that great. It's technically increased HP, but it's still a really cool ability. Taking a look at her primary kit here, what I find fascinating about her primary kit, and I think what's most important, is there's no heals in her primary kit. Her limit breaks a heal, but there is no heals in her primary kit. So in terms of figuring out how you're going to utilize her, when you're going to kind of switch her, or if you want her to be more healing focused or more damage focused, it's going to be relatively easy to do, and you can do that depending on what sub job you're going to want to set with her. So she does have a chance to give auto revive. One thing with Bunny's protection here that was really interesting, which is kind of a thing we're going to see with her AI, which Miss Idia pointed out right in the beginning of his video, is that she's not going to run forward. So she is going to be a little bit more back line. This could of course be a problem for some or good for others, depending on how you build your composition. If you're wanting her to be a healer, that's going to be really good. But if you're wanting her to be DPS, this may be a little bit problematic for you, particularly in PvP. I've got your back. Interestingly, here she has a variety of both magic attacks and slash attacks. So she has access to 2 separate types of capabilities for offensive attacks. She also has access to a basically dispel everything buff, except for barriers and re-raise here. Which is going to be a magic attack, high range, no cast time as well, which is important to note. Prayer of the Resolute Oaths is going to give defense 25, spirit 25, defense debuff resistance, and spirit debuff resistance 100. Really powerful. You know, stack this with her other ability. That's going to be 40 defense and spirit that you can't break or lower, which is going to be great. Pair that with the lower defense penetration ability of her job level 25 ability. Going to be really good. She has Clever Paladin Strike, which will dispel auto revive. One thing I love about this is look at the high range and the high AoE. It also has a chance to inflict slow. Now, unfortunately, it's only a 25% chance to inflict slow, so that's not going to hit very often because, you know, I think most of the time when we see slow in the game right now, it's with counter slow, which does have an increased chance of landing on the opponent. But still, 25% chance to inflict slow is very powerful. And then, of course, True Paladin Strike is going to lower defense penetration 30. Now, when we get into her subjobs is when we really start getting into whether or not you're going to kind of control what you want her to do. You know, she does have her limit break, which is going to heal, and she will prioritize the healing. Her AI will do that. It also gives a 50% damage barrier for allies when it does go off, and gives herself AP auto restore. Personally, I think in a lot of situations, you may just want to sub Blade Soul and just leave the limit break on her, because you're going to get in a situation where she's either going to continually keep healing or she's going to full life when maybe she should just be killing the opponent. So I am very cautious actually with setting Bunny Loving Knight or White Mage for the sub, because it could easily trap her AI into kind of a healing AI mode. And I don't know that that's going to save anybody nowadays. I don't know that that is what you're really going to want if you're going into a PvP setup. You may actually just want her to be able to deal that damage because she does have access to it. So if you're running sub Bunny Loving Knight, she does have access to a pretty powerful heal. Important note here, it does have 4 casts, which is pretty good. You could sub Bunny Loving Knight if you're maybe not wanting her to cast full life, which would be okay. You could also sub White Mage if you do want that full life. You'd probably have to turn off Protect Shell and everything else. Or you could sub Blade Soul if you are just wanting, you know, that extra power that she can get. She also has Banishing Barrier, which is a nice HP barrier here, which I actually kind of like on Blade Souls. So I guess the question is, will she be worth it as a light element unit? I think she's going to be somewhat of a sleeper unit. I think she's not going to be coming out and being incredibly powerful. Her vision card, which we can talk about, is not really that remarkable. It gives the individual unit magic 10%, missile resistance 10%. It gives Sylvie herself healing power 10, decreased chance of being targeted. And party-wide, it gives Maneater 30, AoE resistance 16, critical hit rate 25 for specific jobs. I don't find her VC that remarkable. I feel like a lot of the VCs with the job-specific stipulations have not been amazing yet, and I think that's pretty standard. I do also want to talk about her sword. So her sword is an interesting weapon. So does have 177 magic on it, comes with healing power 15, accuracy 15, and it comes with magic plus 30%. Now, I feel like this is very similar situation to some of the other weapons we've seen in the past. Of course, magic up 30%, going to be really powerful in terms of modifying her heals, as well as that healing power 15. However, I really wonder if she needs that. It's going to be a situation kind of like Howlet, some of the other Spellblade characters, some of the characters with high base magic, where you have to ask yourself if 30% magic is going to be better than adding, for example, a 45 modifier with Sword of Light in terms of damage and capability. And I think this may be not as powerful as Sword of Light for Sylvie. I think if you're going to want to lean into her healing capability, of course, this is going to be fantastic, right? If you're going to be using Adelard, for example, and you want him to heal, or you want to, you know, do something else, or you're going to be throwing Miranda around and you want her to heal, this is going to be fantastic, right? But if you're wanting a character that is going to be somewhat of a brawler type, where you know, they're going to pop their LB and then you want them to deal damage after that, I'm not sure this is going to be better than Sword of Light. Again, that would take pretty extensive testing. It's probably only going to be a marginal difference, I would imagine. But it's one of those things where, yes, this is a good weapon. It's going to be great in your arsenal. You're probably going to use it. It's going to be a great default weapon for her. But questionably, kind of like Elena's weapon, there may be situations where it's not the best, or it's not really what the formation requires for what's happening. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Again, please go to dig.gs/offer or on JNI. I'm really counting on you guys to go and check out that link. And I will catch you guys all next time.